What's up, YouTube? Georgia Silver Hunter back, and today we'll be hunting a $100 box of bank-wrapped nickels on the quest to fill out our Whitman Nickel Album. I've done a recent video on this. It's been a while since I've hunted a lot of nickels, and I've been getting lucky and getting circulated boxes of late, so I figured I would take the opportunity, since the boxes were plentiful, to see if I could continue to make progress in this book. To keep things easy, here are the main coins we are looking for as part of our hunt, because this will finish out the album except for the proofs, which I don't anticipate finding every single nickel proof through bank boxes. That'll be extremely hard to do. But as I said, we've got circulated nickels, which gets me pretty excited because typically we get all new 2023s, and that's no fun. So without further delay, let's go ahead and jump into these nickels. Okay, well, if you are new to coin roll hunting, what we are doing is hunting through a box of bank wrap nickels that we picked up from, I believe this came from our local Fifth Third Bank, or one of our local Fifth Third Banks. And we'll be hunting for a whole lot of nickel errors, varieties, mints, war nickels for silver, V nickels, buffalo nickels, you name it. If it's numismatically relevant or has value worth more than a nickel, we are on the hunt for it, as well as looking for those handful of nickels to fill out our album. If you are interested in the things we are looking for, I do look for most of the nickels that are in the Strike It Rich with Pocket Change book, and I do have a document in the description down below this video that outlines most of the nickels that are more common to find if you are going to get into nickel hunting, if you want to save yourself the price of the Strike It Rich book. That said, the Strike It Rich book is a fantastic resource because it does include pictures of all the things that you would be looking for, whether it be a double die obverse or repunch mint mark, so on and so forth. I'm just going through these really quickly because the other thing we look for is any nickel 1959 and older, because they are just much lower mintage than more modern nickels. So typically us coin roll hunters are pulling those out of circulation, looking for higher quality versions of them and filling out albums or creating tubes. Now, I did pull a 1964 Denver aside. I've got two of them because that particular nickel does have a repunched mint mark. So I'll be looking at that under the scope, and if we happen to have one, I'll bring you in and show you. I've never found one in 4 years of hunting nickels, so I'm not too hopeful. Now, I know I did that really quickly. I will go back through these and give them a little bit closer look because there could be some cud errors or some double die reverses and whatnot in there, but just was looking for some older stuff like buffalo nickels if we could catch it on camera. So with that said, I'm going to go off camera. We will continue to hunt nickels, and I will bring you in as we find things. Well, our box is a little wonky. I think I'm on roll number 3, and we've got our first find of the hunt. We've got ourselves a 1954 Denver. Let's check that mint mark, see if we got anything out of place here. Nope, looks like a regular D to me. So I think we're on roll probably 8 or so, because this box, like I said, is really wonky. I got 11 rolls down there, and I know some additional fell down there. So I don't know. Roll 7, roll 8, roll 9, somewhere in there. But we got ourselves another 50s, 1957. Looks like we have a Denver. So second 50s on the hunt. So same roll, just a handful of nickels later, we've got our first 40s of the hunt. We've got a 1941. Looks like a filly. Roll number 10, and we've got our next 40s find. We've got ourselves a 1948. Looks like a filly with a fair amount of damage there on the ring. Or on the rim. We're on roll 17, give or take, and we've got our next 50s find. We've got ourselves a 1958. Looks like a Denver. Let's check that mint mark. See if we have anything off about it like we have in the past, and I am not seeing an overmint mark or a repunch, so just a regular 58D. Very next roll, roll 18, I think we've got our next 40s find of the hunt. We've got ourselves a 1946. Looks like we've got ourselves a filly. Can't remember if the 46 was one of the Henning nickel years or not, but we'll check the typical things like a little dot or a little circle here in the R, and there's usually some sort of die break down between the R and the the B and the U. That just looks like post-mint damage there. So I think we're just a regular nickel here. Getting into roll 21 or 22, we've got our next find. We've got a 1954. This one actually came up reverse facing, and I've already forgotten if it had a mint mark. But 1954, it did. 1954D. Again, let's just check that mint mark. Nothing too crazy there. We'll throw it on the board as a find. So just got roll 27 out, and I was laying it out, and we've come across something we are always looking for in our nickels, and it's right there if you can't see it. The color gives it away, and that little hint of a mint mark right there gives it away as well. We've got ourselves a 35% war nickel. San Francisco, we got the mint there above the Monticello building, and we've got ourselves a 1943. Again, not one of the war nickels we need for our book. Time and time again, we continue to get the 43 like Philly and the 43 San Francisco, but I will take a silver war nickel any day of the week. So we're up here on roll number, I think it's 29. We've got our next find. It's from the 50s. We've got a 1951. Let's see if we have a mint mark. We do not. 51 Philly. So we're all the way up here on roll number 36, and we've come across our next 50s find, and this one did actually come up reverse facing. I had to flip it over to see the year, but we've got ourselves a 1959 Denver for the hunt. So we've got a nice little run of 40s and 50s in this box. So we're all the way up here in roll number 38, and we've got our next find from the 40s, actually the first 40s nickel. We've got ourselves the 1940. Looks like we have a San Francisco. Is that right? 1940S. It is a 1940S. Look at that. Don't see a lot of these. So because I don't see a lot of these, I did take a minute to look this one up. The 40S does have basically I'm going to call it a repunch mint mark or a doubled mint mark. This one doesn't have it. It looks like we do have some post-mint damage on that S. I'll bring it up here on the scope again just to show you. And I've zoomed way, way in, so hopefully I can find it again. Where'd you go? There he is. We've got a little damage here on that mint mark, but it doesn't look doubled or extra thick or anything like that to me. So still a cool find because we just don't see a lot of the San Francisco nickels. So we're up here on roll 45, and we have found our oldest nickel of the hunt right here, and it is a 1939. Now, I need the 39 Denver for my book. We've been looking for it for a long time. The 39, let's see here, the 39 S and D are key dates, so that's a win. If it's a Philly, we don't need it, but it does have a DDO and a DDR on it that we can look for, so let's take a look. And we've got ourselves a Philly. So let's get this under the scope. Look for that big DDR because that would be a big find if we had it. And we don't. It presents itself as doubling here in the words 5 cents and Monticello. That's what you're looking for. And that one's worth a pretty penny if you can find it. Let's just look at Liberty and we'll look at the date, see if we see anything in there. And maybe over here in the Trust. So I'm not seeing any DDO as well, so it looks like we just have a plain old 1939, but we'll take it for the hunt. So we just got into the very next roll, roll number 46, and I was kind of looking it over to see if we saw any potential war nickels or buffaloes. Believe it or not, after you've looked at these long enough, you can kind of tell from the color. And I had 3 that jumped out at me as particularly interesting looking. The war nickels kind of get this almost gunmetal-y, greenish-grayish color, and that guy right there was standing out. And then we've got 2 down here on the end, and I've already kind of taken a peek, so I already know, but I looked at this one. We got nothing there. It's a 75. I looked at this one, or sorry, it was one away, one of these couple right there. Nothing there, but this one right here on the end, I was very pleased when I pulled it back to see we have another 1943 to go with the first one we found. So we've been on the silver war nickels these last couple of boxes. That's been pretty nice. We've got a 43 This time we have a Philly. So Philly and a San Francisco to go on the hunt. Unfortunately, it doesn't fill a spot in the album, but we will check it to see if it's an upgrade. We are on roll number 50, and again, just got this out of the paper, and this one jumped out and bit me. I had to stop and show you guys again kind of what you're looking for as you're scanning for those war nickels in a roll. Now, you should always look at every nickel because this is not a surefire way. It's not as obvious as with half dollars, but right there, it nearly jumped out and bit me, and I have already taken a peek, so I know it's a war nickel. I saw the back. It's a Philadelphia. Don't know what year. And I'm trying to see my cheat sheet. I don't think I need any of the Philadelphia war nickels, but let's see what we have. We've got another 1943. So unfortunately, no variation in the years, but we do have 3 silver war nickels on the hunt, which is unusual for me in a box of nickels. Well, we have reached the end of the box, and we've got a lot of finds in here. Now, I know I didn't bring you in for a lot of them because we had a lot of duplicates, but let's start down here on the end and go through them. We got ourselves a 1939. It was a Philly. I'm not going to call out the years for all of them, but we got a couple of 1940s, a couple of 1941s. Of course, the big winner on the hunt is all of these war nickels. We had a 43 Philly, a 43 Philly, and a 43 San Francisco. Now, I will go to coin apps and throw the current value of a 35% war nickel up on the screen. I want to say they're like $1.50, something like that a piece, but still, it's a piece of silver. It's a piece of history. I love finding them, and we're going to add these to the silver chest here in just a second. So let's see here. We got a 1946, a 48, a 51, a couple of 54s, a bunch of 1957s, and I think they were all Denvers, if I recall. 4 1957 Denvers, 3 1958s, and 2 1959s. Now, I did look through my album. I have no book fillers. I have no upgrades. I got nothing to put into the album on this hunt, but we did find a lot of stuff. Now, I do have hiding back there in the back tubes of my 1938 through 1959, and we'll be adding these to those tubes. Not on camera, but I'm trying to get several tubes of each year and mint mark. So with that, we'll go ahead. Let's get these in the silver chest here. Let's pull it out. I got it sitting right next to me. See how we're doing on the year. And this isn't just war nickels. This is going to be all my silver for the year. And it's looking pretty good. Now, I did throw a couple of cool nickels from one of my last hunts. This is that double-headed nickel that we found. That was pretty cool. It was like a magic. It's a machine nickel. And this was from a previous hunt too, that super grease strike. That was pretty cool. But everything else in here is silver. We've got a silver quarter, a couple of silver dimes, some other war nickels, lots of 40% and 90% half dollars. And these were those blingin' 1968 Denvers we found in my half dollar hunt the other day. Went ahead and threw those in a flip. But here I am. I'm trying to destroy my war nickels here. Let's grab those. And they're going to go right in there. So at the end of the year, I'll probably do a little contest to see who can figure out what the silver value is of everything we found. And even during my live streams, if people buy boxes and we find silver, I am pulling silver from other tubes. And that's going in here as well, because it is silver that we found as part of the channel. So this does include everything from live streams to my individual hunts. So pretty cool. So anyway, if you did like this video, let me know. Drop on down below. Leave me a comment. While you're down there, make sure you click that like button and share this video with your friends if they like coin roll hunts. Put it on Facebook and Instagram, whatever you guys have out there. I'd really appreciate it. Trying to get my view counts back up to where they used to be. If you're new to the channel and you like coin roll hunts, make sure you do click on that subscribe button. Then click that little bell and select all so you get notified each and every time I do release a new video. Special shout out to all my channel members. Thank you guys for supporting the channel each and every month. I really appreciate it. Every little bit helps. Thank you so much. And this one was a lot of fun. I wish we had found some buffalo nickels and some other stuff, but you can't be mad about 3 war nickels. I'll take it all day. So with that, you guys take care, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.